Hey guys, today we're doing the Luna 6 Stygian Onslaught. Alright, let's go! Okay, so first off, I apologize, I had some recording issues. I was on Discord, so I had voices all over, so I had to mute everything, unfortunately. And I just did this a second time, and I didn't want to do it a third time, so you get a voiceover. So the first boss is the Radiant Moongecko. For this guy, you're gonna need a healer, and you're definitely gonna need Geo characters. Okay, so the first thing he's going to do, as you can see here, he's going to put up a shield. You're going to need your Geo characters to break that down, and then once he's down, he'll be vulnerable, and his Geo resistance will be lowered, and then you're going to need to prepare your healer. For healers, I recommend you have somebody that can heal your entire team at once, like Sigewinne or Baiju. Healers like Furina, where they only heal the active character, or even Linnea in this case. That's going to be a little bit hard for your team because they need to be at full health. You can see on the health bar and even under the characters to the right, you get that red symbol. That's the debuff. So when he wakes up from that vulnerable stage, he's going to cast that debuff on your entire team. The way you get rid of it is you have to heal that character to full health. And then after that, he basically just repeats those stages. 1, shield. 2, break the shield. 3, deal your damage. And then 4, he's going to put that debuff. And then 5, remove the debuff by healing your team. And then so forth. So rule of thumb when you're doing Stygian Onslaught is by 60 seconds, you usually want to have the boss's health halfway or under. Unless you can deal immense damage, it's pretty much going to be done at that point. So I would recommend maybe at that point to just go ahead and start over. Alright, for the rest of this boss, I'm just gonna let the music play. Okay, the second boss is the Tenebrous Papilla, and really you're just going to need a whole lot of elemental damage. Okay, so my first try here, I just barely failed, but that just means we got it on the second time. Alright, so in the first phase, it's going to already have its shield up. You need to deal a bunch of elemental damage, so here you don't want to do one big shot. You want to do a lot of small shots to break the shield, and then he will go in his vulnerable state, and that's when you want to deal all the damage you can, and probably like, I don't know, 3-5 seconds, and then he's going to repeat that. Okay, I was actually curious how long it would be down in its vulnerable state for. So as you can see here, it's actually about 20 seconds. So that's actually a decent time for it to be down. So if you have any characters that provide buffs like Bennett, this would be the time to drop that down and give you all the boost you can to deal all the amount of damage you can before its shield comes up, because it will not take damage with its shield up. And there we have it. The shield is back up and you're basically going to repeat. So what do you do here if you don't have Chasca? I would definitely recommend getting a character that can put down small instances of elemental damage. So for example, burning would be really good here if you have Emily or even Kniech with Mavuika. Unfortunately, Kniech does not get the buff this time around, like the exalted ones, so you're just gonna have to make it work. And here again, I will just go ahead and let the music play. Alright, we're almost to the end. The third and final boss is the Frostnight Herra, and basically here you just need a lot of lunar damage. And here as well, my first time around, I just barely failed again, and again, that means the second time we're just gonna do better. Okay, so first off, it's going to do that really annoying thing where it's doing its animation coming into the battle, but then it's going to enter its Gloom Veil state. So here you need to break its shield by dealing a bunch of elemental damage. If you don't, then its resistance to all elements is going to increase, but if you break it, its resistance will drop. Let's translate that text to Razor language. So basically, during the Gloom Veiled state, you need to deal a lot of lunar reaction damage, because if you don't and its shield does not break, it will change its elemental type to whatever character dealt the most damage. So if you use Nuvolette and you dealt a lot of hydro damage, then once it exits the Gloom Veiled state, it will be resistant or immune to all hydro damage. So it's really important that you break its shield with lunar damage. Phase 1, it will enter the Gloom Veiled state. You need to use lunar reaction damage to break it, and then number 2, it will be vulnerable for about 15 seconds, deal all the damage you can, and then after that it's kind of going to be in like an in-between state. So just deal as much damage as you possibly can, and then it will repeat. And with that, that basically sums up all of the bosses for the Stygian Onslaught, and I'm just going to let the music play. Alright, we're done, and that is the Luna 6 Stygian Onslaught. If you have any recommendations or suggestions, please leave a comment below and let me know what you guys would like to see, and I hope you enjoy. Good luck!